moving on to the start and sit / who's better for the rest of the season conversation. I think we start with yours first. So you'll be answering the rest of season, who's better, and I'll be starting the week 10 start and sits. So first of all, you don't have to. We say it's rapid fire, but you can take 30 seconds or something, or you can explain your thinking because it'll be quite boring content if we just go name. All right, strange one to start with. But who do you back out of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers running backs? Do you think Rojo or Fournette is the better option going forward?
I'm probably going to go with Fournette, to be honest. I just think Rojo has the highest snap counts, but Fournette has the high value touches, red zone and the passing work. We play in a PPR league, so catches are very important for running backs. So I'd probably lean on Fournette there.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I'd be going Fournette but we didn't really get to see much of them last week, so it's kind of hard to see what the dynamic is there.
Yeah.
Next one, I just had Goddard and Hockenson, but as we were talking about tight ends, I decided to add Quinn's other two tight ends.
Okay.
Noah Fant and Engram. So rank Goddard, Hockenson, Fant, Engram.
All right.
Rate those four.
Okay, I'm going to go Hockenson top.
Okay.
Fant second, Goddard third, Engram fourth. But to be honest, they're all like same tier. Maybe Fant and Hockenson probably a slightly better tier than the other two. But I'd go that order.
Yeah, all right, interesting there. All that, just below the elite tier. Very good tight ends. So now talking about the premium running backs, who do you like out of Kamara, Cook, and McCaffrey?
Yeah,
this is very tough.
I knew this one was coming. Okay. You have to go Kamara first, just because he's the safest one. Like, he's going to score 25 points, even against good run defenses. Like, Cook will score 40 some weeks, but when he plays like the Bears this week, he might struggle. So I'll go Kamara first, Cook second, McCaffrey third, because McCaffrey's out this week and he still has his bye coming up.
So. Oh, that's actually, If we're not factoring in injury this week, I would say McCaffrey's my number one. But that's probably a good. That's probably a good.
You can make an argument for any order in that, to be honest.
Yeah, I like your thinking there. All right, battle of the backup running backs. So these are the guys who kind of came to fantasy relevance in the last 6 weeks, but now they're pretty irrelevant. But rest of season, who do you like out of Jamal Williams, Jordan Wilkins, Giovanni Bernard, and Mike Davis? So this is, I guess you can factor in that McCaffrey's out this week, but this one's tough because...
Yeah, this one is tough. It's out of Jamal Williams and Davis, just because Davis stands to gain the most if McCaffrey gets hurt, but you can't really bank on that, so I'd probably go with Jamal Williams.
Yeah. Do you think Bernard has any relevance now that Mixon's back? Or do you think he's going back to his original role?
Definitely. No relevance.
All right. Who do you like out of the Rams receivers, Kupp or Woods?
Yeah, good one. I'm going Woods. Very close, though. All season, they've just been averaging the exact same points per game, but I've always just had Woods slightly above him.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of Rams receivers, Josh Reynolds is also a kind of an interesting wide receiver stream this week. He's seen bulk targets recently. My former wide receivers, Julio Jones or DK Metcalf.
Yeah. This one it's
kind of the battle of volume versus yards per reception. Well, actually, DK has been.
You traded Julio to me last week, and I actually rated him above DK, but I've kind of switched around on that, and I'm going DK now.
All right. Very interesting.
Both top 5 receivers, though.
Yeah, very, very good players. And then finally, a bit of a quarterback conundrum I've found myself in this week. Well, I haven't really put much thought to it, but Wentz, Tua, and then I've added onto the back of this Big Ben. Rank those
rest of the season.
Forward. Yeah.
Yeah, Big Ben first, easily. Ooh. Tua, it kind of depends. Tua has more upside than Wentz, I feel like. But Wentz is kind of safer. So if if you've already got a quarterback who's better than them two, and it's your backup quarterback, I'd go Tua. If not, I'd go Wentz.
All right, interesting. Okay, that's all I've got for you, mate. So,
all right, we'll move on to the start sits. I've got 5 here.
I'm scared, mate. I'm
All
scared.
right, so first up, we got a couple running backs. Do you still have Darrell Henderson on your
Yeah,
team?
I do.
So I got Henderson versus Seattle or Jonathan Taylor versus Tennessee.
He's gone the first. Are you trying to trade negotiate here, mate?
Nah, I'm not. I'm not trying to trade negotiate.
All right, Titans.
Strictly this week only.
The Titans' defense is actually underrated. I was doing some statistics, and the yards per attempt they've allowed is 3.6. Since September. So I think the first few games they got destroyed. And then the Seahawks, they're decent as well. That's tough. I'd probably just go Jonathan Taylor just because Henderson's coming back from injury and we're not too sure what his snap count's going to look like. But Henderson's riskier, but he has way higher upside in my opinion. But I'd probably go Taylor just. Oh, that's rough because Taylor's what Taylor's probably going to score is probably not even worth picking him. You may as well take the risk on Hendo. It probably depends who you're playing, what kind of situation you're in. If you just want, if the rest of your team's good and you just want someone who's going to give you around 8 to 12, I'd probably just go Taylor. If you're looking for someone to win you the game, and maybe put up a 15 or a 20, well then Henderson's probably a bet because he is due for some rushing touchdowns given his numbers. What do you got next, mate?
Yep, good call there. Next up, we've got the Lions playing the Washington football team. So DeAndre Swift or Antonio Gibson?
Oh, that is tough. The football team are a better defense than the Lions, but I'd probably have to go Swifty.
Really?
Game script, I reckon.
True.
Game script, I reckon, and I think Swift. He played pretty well last week, I think. I can't remember his stat line, but I think his yards per carry was decent. And Gibson, as you said, is definitely a good option as a buy low this moving forward. But I don't know. I'm backing in Swift. Very close, though. Very close.
Yeah. I reckon Swift has more upside. Swift more upside, I reckon.
Yeah, it's probably similar to the first one, actually.
Yeah.
Swift probably could score lower, but definitely a higher upside.
All right. Now, my third one is impossible. It's a you got to pick one out of these three.
Mate, this better not make me lose sleep, mate.
It might. We'll go. You will go. You've got all three on your team, and you've got to sit one. So you've got to start 2. All right.
Okay.
And it's Juju, Diontae, Johnson, Claypool.
I was actually just looking at this before. Juju's recent numbers have been very good.
Yeah.
Well, this is interesting because I don't like
Hang
Claypool.
on, they're playing Cincinnati.
They're all playing the same team, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It could because they're different.
I'd go Diontae and Claypool because Juju gets more volume, but low yards per reception, very low, and he is less of a TD target than the other two. So I'd be going Claypool and Johnson, but Claypool's the risk. Can you even say he's riskier than Johnson anymore, given Johnson's last
injuries?
Johnson's
always a 50% chance to
I'd
pull a
say
hammy.
Juju, the difference between Juju's floor and ceiling is the smallest out of the 3. So if you want a safe option, maybe go Juju, but I think the other two's ceiling is way higher than Juju's personally. But all pretty good options this week, to be fair, against a Bengals team that concedes a lot of points. What would you say there?
Yeah, I'd probably... Yeah, as you said, it depends. All right, Claypool's the most boom-bust out of the 3, I'd say.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, now we've got another wide receiver one. We got Texans v. Browns, Cooks v. Landry.
Texans v. Browns. Texans v. Browns. Texans are a lot worse defense than the Browns.
Yeah. Although Browns' secondary is pretty... Their pass defense, is pretty average.
True. It is true. I do have Cooks as well. I'd probably go Cooks, though.
Fair call.
I think he's a bit more reliable. Mate, all yours are the exact same. There's one that's more reliable, but one has higher upside. Like Landry could ball out if the Browns, put up 30 plus points, he's probably likely to catch. But I think Cooks, you can probably pencil him in for somewhere between 5 and 8 targets. So he's probably going to get 10 plus just on receptions alone. And he's one of Deshaun's favorite TD targets. So I'd probably just go Cooks as well. But in saying that, Cooks might be departing my team this week. So
we're still kind of waiting for Landry to take advantage of Odell Beckham doing his ACL.
This week could be the week.
Could be the week. All right, last one, mate. This is more premium receivers here. We got Tyler Boyd against Pittsburgh or Godwin against Carolina.
Rough, mate. That's rough. That is brutal. I think
you probably want to start both these guys if you have them both. But
yeah, I think I've got to go Godwin just because the matchup's better.
Yeah, Steelers is pretty rough.
Steelers are only averaging 20.6 points against. So although Boyd is he's one of Joe Burrow's favorite red zone targets. Yeah, I don't know about them scoring too many points this week. But yeah, I'd probably back in Godwin, but probably similar once again.
Yeah,
Boyd probably arguably has a high ceiling. So. But yeah, I'll be locking in Godwin there, even with his busted finger, where he has to catch like that.
What? What's he done?
Because he has like a broken finger.
Yeah,
his finger's like completely cooked, so they have to strap it to the finger next to it. So when he catches it, it's like that. It's like impossible to catch. They were showing it on Sunday Night Footy. But yeah, that's it. That was a good last segment, I reckon. I think that becomes a permanent fixture. Did you like it? Live feedback?
Rated that highly.
Yeah. So once again, feel free to comment or DM us on Instagram if you have any questions about the fantasy week this week, and we'll do our best to help you out. We did quite well last week, 2 from 2 strike rate, I'd say, between us. So yeah, once again, feel free to get around the potty on the social medias and also on whatever platform you're listening or watching on right now. And yeah, looking forward to this round of fantasy footy as always. And we'll be back same time, same place next week. So yeah, look out for the next week's episode. And thanks for joining us today. And thanks for coming on.
Queensland, it's a miracle. Oh yeah, what about that one? Unbelievable. Balotelli, Aguero. Crowd cheers. Here's Siddle.